Most weirdest things found on exoplanets. HD 189733b. It rains glass. Sideways. Look at it from a distance and you'd swear it was Earth. A deep, beautiful blue dot floating in space, 63 light-years away in the constellation Vulpecula. That blue color is the first lie this planet tells. On Earth, blue means water. On HD 189733b, blue means death. The color comes from silicate particles scattered through a scorching atmosphere that reaches over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Those silicate particles are glass, and they don't just float up there. They condense, they fall, and they are ripped sideways by winds that blow at 8,700 kilometers per hour. That's 7 times the speed of sound. On Earth, the fastest hurricane wind ever recorded was around 345 kilometers per hour. Multiply that by 25. That's what's carrying molten glass across this planet's sky. This world is about the size of Jupiter and orbits its star so closely that a full year lasts just 2.2 Earth days. It's tidally locked, one face permanently baking in starlight, the other trapped in eternal night. The temperature difference between the two sides drives the extreme winds. JWST has since detected water vapor and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, adding more detail to what was already one of the most studied exoplanets ever found. NASA has officially called it a nightmare planet, and it deserves the title, because from far away it looks like home. Up close, it would slice you apart before you ever touch the ground. 55 Cancri, the diamond planet covered in lava. About 41 light-years away, there's a planet where a year lasts 18 hours. 55 Cancri is a super-Earth roughly twice the diameter of our planet. It orbits its sun-like star so closely that the distance between them is barely 2.5 million kilometers. Mercury, the closest planet to our sun, is 23 times farther from its star than this. That closeness creates surface temperatures above 2,000 degrees Celsius on the day side. The entire sunlit half of the planet is covered in a permanent ocean of molten lava. Not pockets of lava, not volcanic flows. An ocean of liquid rock stretching from horizon to horizon, glowing under a sky that should not exist. Because here's what makes 55 Cancri truly strange. Scientists believed for years that a planet this close to its star couldn't hold an atmosphere. The radiation should strip everything away. But in 2024, JWST proved them wrong. It detected a thick atmosphere rich in carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide being continuously replenished from below. The magma ocean is outgassing, bubbling toxic gases upward fast enough to replace what the star burns off. The planet is growing its own atmosphere in real time. And then there's the composition. Based on its density and mass, scientists believe the interior contains enormous amounts of carbon under extreme pressure, enough pressure to compress that carbon into diamond. An entire world with a potential diamond core, wrapped in an ocean of lava, breathing out an atmosphere that shouldn't be there, under a star that's trying to destroy it. JWST is planning further observations across the full orbit. What else this planet is hiding, we're only beginning to understand. WASP 76b. It rains liquid iron. 640 light-years away in the constellation Pisces, there's a gas giant caught in an endless cycle of metallic violence. WASP 76b is roughly the mass of Jupiter and orbits its star once every 1.8 Earth days. It's tidally locked. The day side faces the star permanently. The night side faces space permanently. And the difference between those two halves creates weather that doesn't exist anywhere else we've ever looked. On the day side, temperatures climb above 2,400 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to vaporize iron. Actual metallic iron turns into gas and rises into the atmosphere like steam. Powerful winds then carry that iron vapor across the planet toward the night side. The night side is cooler, around 1,500 degrees Celsius, still unimaginably hot by Earth standards, but cool enough for one critical thing to happen. The iron condenses, it forms droplets, and it falls as rain, liquid iron, pouring down through the atmosphere of an alien world. Scientists at the University of Geneva confirmed this in a study published in Nature in 2020 using the espresso instrument on the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope. They detected iron vapor at the evening border between the day side and the night side. But when they looked at the morning border, the iron was gone. It had already rained out during the night. The iron eventually circulates back to the day side, vaporizes again, and the cycle repeats, endlessly. Every single day on WASP 76b follows the same script. Sunrise vaporizes metal. Sunset turns it into rain. And somewhere in between, storms of liquid iron tear through a sky no human will ever see. Turi S2b. the darkest planet ever found. 750 light-years away in the direction of the constellation Draco, there is a planet darker than anything we've ever measured. TARIS 2b is a gas giant roughly the size of Jupiter. It reflects less than 1% of the starlight that hits it. To put that into perspective, coal reflects about 5%. Black acrylic paint reflects more than TRES 2b does. This planet absorbs 99.9% of all light that reaches its surface. It is the most light-absorbing object ever discovered in the known universe. NASA's Kepler spacecraft measured the brightness fluctuations as TRES 2b orbited its star, detecting changes as small as 6 parts per million. That's like measuring the dimming caused by a fruit fly crossing in front of a car headlight. From that impossibly faint signal, astronomers confirmed that TARIS 2b is essentially a black sphere hanging in space. Its atmosphere contains chemicals that absorb light, vaporize sodium, potassium, and gaseous titanium oxide. But none of those chemicals fully explain just how dark it actually is. Something else is eating the light. Something scientists have not yet identified. The planet isn't completely invisible, though. It orbits so close to its star that surface temperatures reach over 1,000 degrees Celsius. At those temperatures, TARIS 2b glows with a faint deep red, like the dying embers of a fire, or the coils of an electric stove left on in a dark room. A planet blacker than coal, glowing like a burning ember, orbiting a star in the Dragon constellation. And the reason it's so dark remains one of the genuine unsolved mysteries in exoplanet science. WASP 921b. It rains rubies and sapphires, 850 light-years from Earth. There's an ultra-hot Jupiter where the weather forecast includes gemstones. WASP 121b orbits its star so closely that a full year takes just 1.27 Earth days. The dayside reaches temperatures of roughly 3,000 degrees Celsius. At those temperatures, molecules break apart entirely. Hydrogen separates from oxygen. Metals that would be solid on Earth become vapor. And among those metals are aluminum oxide and titanium oxide, the mineral building blocks of rubies and sapphires. On the day side, these minerals exist as superheated gas. Fierce winds carry them toward the cooler night side. When they arrive, temperatures drop just enough for the vapor to condense into clouds. And from those clouds, gemstone rain falls. Droplets of corundum, the crystalline form of aluminum oxide, the same material that gives rubies their red and sapphires their blue, raining through an alien atmosphere hundreds of light years away. Hubble tracked WASP 121b's atmosphere over 3 years of observations. The data revealed massive cyclones, shifting storm fronts, and chaotic weather patterns unlike anything seen on any other exoplanet. The atmosphere changes visibly from one observation to the next. This isn't a stable world. It's a furnace in constant chaos. The planet also exhibits a water cycle. Water molecules are ripped apart on the day side by the extreme heat. The hydrogen and oxygen atoms drift to the night side, where cooler temperatures allow them to recombine into water again. Then winds carry the water back to the day side, where it's destroyed again. A cycle of creation and destruction, running on an 18-hour loop forever. PSR J2322-2650b. A lemon-shaped planet raining diamonds around a dead star. In late 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope found something that broke the pattern of everything astronomers thought they understood about exoplanets. PSR J2322-2650b orbits a millisecond pulsar, a neutron star the mass of the Sun compressed to the size of a city, spinning hundreds of times per second. The planet is about the mass of Jupiter. It orbits so close to the pulsar that it completes a full revolution in under 8 hours. The gravitational forces at that distance are so extreme that the planet has been deformed into the shape of a lemon, visibly elongated by the pull of a dead star. Then JWST looked at its atmosphere. Every other exoplanet atmosphere ever studied has contained some combination of familiar gases, water, methane, carbon dioxide, the usual building blocks. This one had none of them. Instead, it was dominated by molecular carbon, specifically C2 and C3, chemicals never before seen in any planetary atmosphere. The sky is filled with dark soot-like clouds of pure carbon. Under the crushing pressures inside the planet, scientists believe that carbon is being compressed into diamonds. It may be raining diamonds internally, deep below those soot clouds, in a world shaped like a lemon, orbiting the spinning corpse of a dead star. No existing model of planet formation explains how PSR J2322-2650b can exist. It shouldn't be there. Its atmosphere shouldn't look like that. Its composition doesn't match any known category. The lead researcher on the study said it plainly. This is a new type of planet that nobody has ever seen before. Rogue planets. Planets with no star at all. Not every planet orbits a star. Some drift through the galaxy completely alone, untethered to any solar system, moving through interstellar space in total darkness. They're called rogue planets, and there may be more of them than there are stars in the Milky Way. In 2023, JWST turned its infrared eye toward the Orion Nebula and found something that stunned the astronomy community. Hundreds of free-floating planetary mass objects, some as small as Jupiter, drifting through the cloud of gas and dust with no parent star at all. Even stranger, dozens of them were traveling in pairs. Two planet-sized objects orbiting each other in the emptiness of space. No star, no system. Just two worlds locked in a gravitational dance, floating through nothing. Scientists call them jumbos, Jupiter mass binary objects. Their existence challenges the standard models of how planets form, because those models require a star. These objects either formed like stars and failed to ignite, or they were violently ejected from their original solar systems early in their lives. Some rogue planets might still have warmth. If they're massive enough and young enough, residual heat from formation could keep their interiors molten for billions of years. A few could theoretically retain thick atmospheres that trap heat through internal processes alone. In 2024, the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope mission confirmed that it would include rogue planet detection as a core science objective. Estimates suggest the Milky Way alone could contain trillions of these wanderers. Entire worlds, possibly with oceans under thick ice shells drifting between the stars, never seen from any civilization's sky, completely invisible without infrared telescopes. The loneliest places in the universe might also be some of the most common. WASP-12b, a planet being eaten alive. Every planet on this list is extreme, but only one of them is actively dying. WASP-12b is a hot Jupiter located about 1,400 light-years from Earth in the constellation Auriga. It orbits its sun-like star once every 26 hours, from a distance of just 3.4 million kilometers. For context, Mercury orbits our sun at 58 million kilometers. WASP-12b is 17 times closer to its star than Mercury is to ours. At that distance, the gravitational forces are so intense that the planet has been physically stretched into the shape of an egg. Its atmosphere has ballooned to nearly 3 times the radius of Jupiter, and it's leaking. The star's gravity is pulling material directly off the planet. Gas streams away from WASP-12b and spirals into a disk around the stars. In 2010, the Hubble Space Telescope directly observed this process. The star is eating its own planet. Astronomers at Princeton University confirmed in 2020 that WASP-12b's orbit is shrinking. The interval between each transit gets shorter by roughly 29 milliseconds per year. That might sound small, but over a decade, the shift has accumulated to more than 7 minutes. The planet is spiraling inward, falling closer to its star with every orbit. Based on the rate of decay, scientists estimate WASP-12b has roughly 3 million years left before the star's gravity tears it apart completely. In a solar system 3 billion years old, we are watching the last fraction of a percent of this planet's life. It also reflects just 6% of light, making it nearly pitch black, glowing with a faint reddish heat as it falls toward its own destruction. A dark, egg-shaped world, bleeding atmosphere, spiraling inward, being consumed alive. And we're watching it happen in real time.